Please welcome America's service sales coach, Joe Crisara.
Welcome to the Service MVP Podcast, the show that helps home service professionals master high-value sales, build stronger client relationships, and grow their business like never before. Join industry experts as they share real strategies that drive results. If you're ready to level up your service game, you're in the right place. Let's get started.
It's the Service MVP Podcast.
One of the things that we pride ourselves on is being able to pivot. We've seen, you and I have seen all different kinds of economies since I think it's like 2004. I think I first met you, something like that.
Yeah.
And so we've been like, we're going on our 20-year. I think we just passed our 20-year anniversary. You didn't even send me any flowers.
Yeah, I didn't get any candy either.
But we got about 20-year anniversary. But over the years, there's been different ebbs and flows of the economy. Well, lately it's just gone up. Not the economy, but the economy's not bad. But the costs, the economy's doing good actually. But the costs our inflation has gone up far faster than the economy is increasing. That's one thing I would say. So tell me, what do you think on that? What's the creating value as costs go up? What are the different choices a contractor has as the costs go up? I mean, I don't want to, make it too easy to say, but there's not that many choices, really. Well, what are the different ways that
I guess
a service contractor can pivot?
Right. I would say there's two choices: either create more value or lower the price. Right.
So, what do you think what do you think the vast majority of service contractors are doing? Are they finding a way to create value? And we'll talk about how we can do that. Or is it just easier to lower the price, or is it easier to create value? What do you think is the easier thing to do?
Well, I think actually it's easier to create value, but most people they don't know how to do it, right? So if you don't know how to do it, then you default to lowering the price, right? Because they feel they're in survival mode. So they'll say you eat almost anything if you're starving, right? So
right.
I
I would say oatmeal's better than no meal, Rick. That's how I tell people.
Exactly. And that's what I've experienced. See, I think someone like myself, I'm sales manager at Rodenhiser, but I'm a working sales manager. And what I mean by that is I'm in front of customers every single day, right? As a sales manager, a lot of sales managers haven't talked to a customer in 20 years, and they're trying to teach people how to what to do. You know what I'm saying?
I understand that. I know it's bothers me. I've seen that. I just had
to get you know what I'm saying. But with me, I'm in front of customers every day, so I have a real good. I have my fingers on the pulse of what's going on in the market. I see it a lot, and so what I'm seeing a lot in the market is, a few years ago during the pandemic, a customer, I walk in the door, I'm so glad you showed up. I followed 4 people. You're the only one that would come, right? Business was so good that was happening. Now what's happening is there's 2 or 3 other companies at the house when I show up, right? You know what I mean? And I have customers telling me I'm getting 4, 5, 6 quotes. So, people are really looking for the best value. They're really watching the pennies again because it's not just because HVAC is expensive or the trees are expensive, because everything has become more expensive now.
So one of the things you say is that as the costs go up, so do the amount of information or quotes that people are looking for. They naturally say, well, at the cost, I got to see if there's anything that I can do to save money on this. And so you think that the amount of quotes then go up. You're noticing that trend that
absolutely, it's true. And so when the quotes go up and people are getting more quotes, it's very simple for contractors to feel like they have to lower the price to compete.
Mm-hmm. Well, because I think the only feedback the client will give you if they don't give, so that if they get 6 quotes or 5 quotes or 4 quotes, the feedback they're giving it's really not. I think the service provider is a victim of bad information from the consumer, because when the consumer doesn't purchase from, like, say 5 of the 6, like only 1 gets the job, 5 don't get the job, the message they send that the people who don't get the job is that your price was too high, even though not all 5 prices were too high. So if you get 6 quotes and you choose the one in the middle, let's say, or choose the second
Right.
from the top or the top one, there's 5 people who are less money, or even if they choose the middle contractor, there's still 3 people who are less money, right?
Right. Right.
But they tell all the contractors who didn't get the job that you were all too much money. Is
Right.
that
Because they guess they're trying to be nice to you. They don't want to tell they don't want to tell you weren't good enough.
right? It's like
Right.
you're a
They're not
crappy
going to tell you, you
salesman,
know what, you were so bad we spent more money on somebody else. I mean,
right?
no one's going to say that. They always say, you did a good job, but just your country's just too expensive. So,
When was the time a customer said, you're just not charging enough, Rick? I can't see you doing this job the right way if you don't charge enough.
right, yeah, yeah.
So no customers. So the reason it's faulty information, you have to admit that not all the contractors who didn't get the job were too much money. And
Right.
if there was somebody who was too much money, it was only too much based on what the value they were providing. Not that they were too much money, but the value was high. And I think that you start to see that without the training. I think that's where value is created, right? What's the heart of creating value,
Right.
Rick? You wanna talk
That's what I said to you. I said when I talked to you earlier that I think more than ever, training is essential because, as I mentioned, there's two choices: create more value or lower the price. So if you
Mhm.
don't have the training to know how to create more value, then you're gonna listen to that misinformation the customer tells you too expensive, and then it's a race to the bottom, and it's a race that no one wins.
hmm I agree with that. Now, with
Right.
all the information out there, there's a couple things that are traps I call for contractors. One, faulty information from the consumer saying the reason we're not getting it is always a lower price. It's never because
Right.
they tell you the truth, like you just didn't create enough value. You just
Mm.
aren't creating enough value. So no consumer ever. The second thing is so much information out there that it's like, why do I need to get training or invest in training, or I don't got time for training because they could just go on ChatGPT or with AI.
Yeah.
Why do
Yeah.
I need training and things like that? So I think that's another trap. I think that they run into. Like, here's what AI says. Like that's the be all end all.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Like I've never seen anything on AI that was really that helpful about sales. Honestly, it seems very watered down from what I've seen.
Yeah.
What do you
Right. Or it just doesn't have enough of broad enough information to um, be able to understand the complexities and the nuances. I run into that as a sales manager. I was looking at some numbers for one of my salespeople the other day, and I noticed his close ratio is steadily dropping. And I'm like, I said to him, so what do you think it is? What do you think why do you think it's, I don't know. It's been really competitive. And I'm like, okay, so why don't we do this? Why don't I ride with you? Come ride with me for a day or two, or I'll ride with you and we'll see what's going on. And
hmm
what I had noticed was he almost totally forgot about verbal packaging,
okay. hmm
right? So the mistake that he was making was he started to sound like everybody else. He
Back in the
let
jargon. Back in the jargon.
he let this can happen to any of us. He knows better. He's been working with me for a long time. All
hmm
right. But I think through the pandemic, he let some things slide because he was selling so much anyway. All right. Now that it's got back to where he's got to create more value, he started using trade jargon, started talking to BTUs, just the verbal package that he was using all the way around, started talking about not what it does, but what the trade calls it. And
hmm
so the customers were starting to view what he was doing the same as everybody else, just more money.
Thank you for listening and watching the Service MVP podcast. I want to give you a copy of my free book. Just click on the link below in the description, and one will be sent to you from me personally. Thank you so much for listening.